Hey, you guys. So, listen, I want to come in today and talk to you as brand new nonprofit organizations. If that's you, I'm talking to you, particularly those of you who are starting and are struggling because you don't have a team. Turn to your neighbor and say, "Oh my gosh, I need a team," right? You need a team. When you are building your organization, you've got to remember that there are various components to the business model. And you want to make sure that you are not only thinking about them, planning for them, but that you have the capacity to address them. So let's talk about all the things that you need to be thinking about, planning for, and considering where do you need a team or people to help you to do this work. So, as a new organization, you've got an amazing program. I already know. You've got a clear vision. I already know. And your mission is already stated, right? Right? Anyway, let's just say that it is, okay? So you've got your mission in place, your vision in place, and your program all the way thought out. Now, what you need is a budget, remembering that your budget is not just expenses, but it's also revenue. So, you want to think about, as a brand new organization, how and where are the funds going to come from to support your business, your organization. It is a business, right? And you do need cash flow in order to pay for the equipment, the materials, the supplies, the staff, the building, and such, okay? So there has to be cash flow. You want to find out or figure out who is going to do that work. Now, I know we like to put people on our board and turn them into fundraisers, but in most cases, those individuals have full-time jobs themselves, nor do they have the experience to identify, to cultivate, and engage donors in a way that needs to be done on a daily basis. Remembering that your donors, your community, that's your customer. Your product is your impact. And so the two have to meet in order for money to be generated. Now, you need some people who are able to identify those new prospects, engage with those prospects, communicate with them, right? Those are on the individual side. And I'm researching who are some of the businesses and corporations that can be sponsors for your events or for some of your programs. There needs to be someone who is designated for that. And then grant writing. Who is it that has the experience, that has the capacity to write grants? Every organization should be putting out at least one grant a week, at least one grant a week. All right. That's cash flow. So you have to have someone who is dedicated for that cause. Now, I know sometimes investing in those people, you may think, "Oh my gosh, Jen, I don't have the money to invest in a team. I don't have the money." But let me say this. It takes money to make money. And if you are using all of the resources that are likely coming out of your pocket to go only towards expense, you done paid more than you would have paid if you'd have hired someone to do the work to generate the revenue for you. All right. I'm just gonna leave that there. I'm not gonna get on that bandwagon, because some of y'all who follow me, you know I could, but I'm just gonna leave it there and say you need to have someone that is focused on the revenue, and that if you're going to put money anywhere, put it into the space where there is the money coming into the organization and not just money going out. All right. So what does that mean? That means you put money into websites, you put money into your emails, you put money into your logos and into your branding. All those are expenses, but cannot generate revenue on their own. Okay. So the communication systems is another place and space where you want to make sure that you have a team. Who is it that is communicating with your community, sharing your testimonials, writing your press releases, creating those engaging posts for the people that are following you. Because the thing is this, these people cannot stay on your Facebook page, nor under all the likes and the follows that you get. At some point, we've got to engage with them so that they can give what? Cash, so that they can write a check, so that they can come closer to the organization. So there needs to be someone in place to work out the communications. All right. So now we've got funding coming in, and now we've got communications, because the people that support your organization needs to be communicated to. All right. They need to be followed up on. They need to get the testimonials. They need to be up to date on the strategic plans or the successes of the organization to keep them connected with your cause. Okay. So these are the things that someone has to communicate to them on a regular basis. Every communication is not an ask. And some of those communications that are not asked, such as testimonials, such as how the funds were spent and how the program grew, the plans for the organization to expand the program and why at this time that's important. Understanding the goals that were set and even the evaluation and the impact of the program. Those are the things that are going to motivate, inspire your donors and contributors to either give to you, continue to give to you, or want to give to you. All right. So communication is key. If you're going to spend your limited resources, get somebody that can help promote and share and show the value of your organization. Remembering, online is one way. However, it cannot be the only way. And there has to be a system to get people offline so that they then would be connected to your organization and write the check. Okay. You can have a whole lot of followers. You can have a whole lot of likes, but it takes cash, honey, to be able to get the equipment and the supplies that your organization needs to move forward with your program. Right. Does that make sense? All right. So we got funding, and we've got communications. The other thing is managing your program results, right? Who is it that is really evaluating the success of your program, making sure that the program goals and the objectives are met, making sure that the people who are coming into your program are prepared to go through the program, to receive all of the things that the program is going to be to deliver. And then where do they go afterwards? Is there going to be an evaluation once the people leave your program? Are you continuing to follow up with them even after they've left your program, so that you can give your donors and your supporters evidence that even after your program, people are continuing to utilize the skills and the resources that you gave them to continue to stay on the right path. All right. So that's one thing. Also, you want to make sure that you have your finances in place, right? That you have someone that is doing the accounting, that is able to share with you what it costs, right? They're tracking the costs of the programs and running the operations of the organization, as well as factoring in the revenue. Right? So the cost, the expense, but also tracking the revenue so that you're able to balance out every expense with the appropriate revenue. Someone should be there managing the finances of the program. Now, I know some people come to me and say, well, Jen, we have a bank statement. Can I use my bank statement? No, you cannot use your bank statement. Your funder and your developers are going to want to know, what is your budget? And your budget includes expenses and revenue. So being able to have someone that can pull those year to date or, your current accounting records and factoring in the chart of accounts, right? That your year to date will tell you these were your expenses and these are the ways by which you brought in money. That's going to help you to determine, are you doing enough to generate money? Now, we're back to money, right? Y'all know I hate this conversation about money, because especially if we're not making any, right? So this is the thing. Your organization is driven because of the impact of your organization, right? You've got several streams of revenue. You've got grants, you've got individuals, you've got corporate support and sponsorship, you've got events, you've got program fees and services, you've got in kind, okay, and others. You want to make sure that based upon your expense plan, your budget, what it's going to cost to deliver this program every single month, that you understand the cash flow requirement that's going to come in to cover those expenses every single month, right? So let's say your budget is $200,000 for the year, remembering that your budget is a forecast, building your team so that you are able to make your projections, the forecast, the projections, right? Your projections of program. How many people do you have the capacity to serve? How many people are going to be needed to assist you in servicing that number of people? Do you need experts? Do you need consultants? Do you need resources? Do you need transportation? Do you need equipment? Do you need printing? All of the things that are necessary to deliver the program to that capacity of people that you want to serve, and factoring in those salaries, the materials, the equipment, those one-time costs or those ongoing costs is going to help you in determining, right, what that cost is going to be and factoring in where's the revenue going to come from. Right? So when you're looking at building a team, not just in the area of cash, but there's opportunities for in kind as well, that what can be donated, what can be contributed by businesses or other agencies or organizations that can help offset the financial or the cash cost for that budget. Having a team is so important, and getting people on your board, right, that you feel can now be free labor. Yeah, I said it. Having people join your board and you're like, I need you to fundraise. I need you to do the marketing. I need you to do the accounting. These people probably have their own jobs. They probably have, responsibilities where they can't focus on this, as their job, right? And they're volunteers. You do not want your board crossing over into the organizational program purview. They should stay on organizational oversight, but the moment they cross over into the day-to-day, let me just say that's a dangerous situation. You definitely don't want that, nor do you want to present to your board as if you can't run the organization as the executive director, as if you're not equipped to make the decisions organizationally or structurally to take the organization and to move the organization forward. Okay, I will not get into further than saying that. You can pick up whatever it is that you feel me putting down, but making sure that you understand that the people that are qualified, that have the knowledge and the experience to help you take your organization to the next level is what you need on your team, who have the time and who are accountable to those tasks being done. Now, you may have to pay some people, right? And it takes money to make money. But let me say this, it is cheaper to pay people to do it right the first time than it is to use your money on resources doing things that do not bring in money for the organization, right? Let's say that you are a brand new organization and somebody told you that you need to get your name out there, right? You need to get your name out there. So now you're spending your money on events. You're spending your money on giving away P&J sandwiches. You're using money on backpacks and bicycles and hygiene kits, all of which may not have anything to do with your mission. Right? And so the people in your community that would support your organization and the mission of your organization are not being reached at all, but you spend money. You spend money on equipment, you spend money on materials, you spend money on decorations, you spend money on doing things that have nothing to do with your mission. Take that money and then hire somebody. Hire somebody, even if it's part-time. Hire somebody, even if they're overseas, right? Hire someone, even if they're contractors or consultants, and you pay them for an hourly rate that you can afford. Listen, utilize the resources, the limited resources that you may have to grow your resources. Everything that's within your activities, anything that you're doing within this new nonprofit, you need to evaluate of those activities, of program, of planning events, of doing whatever else that you're doing in the community. What of those things are bringing in money? Right? There has to be components of these activities that are generating revenue. Okay. So you want to make that assessment. Everything cannot be an expense, nor can everything be free. And the people that you want to be, right, things that they've never been, it's going to hurt you. All right. It's going to hurt you. So think about the areas that you're going to need expert help. If that's building up your website, if that's marketing and cultivating and identifying new donors and sponsors, if that's engaging with people in your community, if you as the executive director do not feel comfortable or confident in that role, somebody has to be. Why? You are a community-based organization. Your reach, your customer, your support comes from the community. You cannot have a community-based organization and be to yourself. One person cannot build a house. One person cannot grow an organization. One person does not impress your donors and your funders, right? So you want to make sure that you are doing what is necessary and required to generate revenue. When you are looking for new board members, finding board members that are interested in your cause. How do you know they're interested in your cause? Very simple. You ask them, you talk to them, find out what it is that they know about your organization. What is it that they would see your organization in the area of growth, and how would they like to be a part of that growth? Ask them, what do they know about the need that your organization is addressing? And do they have an experience in this area? And then talk about the commitment and the responsibilities that each board member will have as it relates to not just attending board meetings, but scheduling meetings. What type of relationships do they have, and how comfortable are they in building relationships within the community, right? You have these questions answered before you put these people on your board, right? And I know for those of you all who are just getting started, and in order to get the paperwork, you put your mother, your father, your dog, your cat, your fish, and everybody and anybody on your board. And now you're all sitting around brainstorming, trying to figure out what to do. When you are just getting started, I'm telling you, set the foundation of what it is that you need to do. You need to do the program. You need to have communications, right? What is your website? Who is on? Do you have an email? How are you going to reach out and communicate with those on your list? How are you going to grow your email list, right? How are you going to reach more people so that you can build those relationships and connections with? And let me tell you this, do not, and I'm going to say it one more time, do not put people on your email list that didn't ask to be on your email list. Why? Because all of your stuff is going to go to spam. Now you're paying for an email list that's winding up in spam. Did you hear me? So you want to have your communications efforts in place. And then you want to have also your funding. How much do you need each and every year, i.e., each and every month? Right? You can't wait until the end of the year to talk about what our budget is. No, your budget is 12 months ahead. However, it's going to take month by month. How much do you need each and every month to come into the organization as revenue to ensure that all of your responsibilities and expectations are met financially? There needs to be someone doing that job. And I find that organizations that are just starting out, they want everything done free. They want to, listen, they want to go turn to Uncle Google I don't mind me a little piece of Uncle Google, honey, but Uncle Google has never raised any money. Uncle Google has never raised money. Uncle Google has never run or sustained an organization. So you want to also invest in your knowledge that if you are new to the nonprofit field, if you've never run an organization, if you've never worked in an organization, if you have never volunteered on the executive level of an organization, you need knowledge. Why? Because you're not the only organization in your community that's doing the work that you're doing, nor are your donors and funders looking around for people who've never done it to give their money to, right? So you want to show up as well informed, as educated, as knowledgeable about how to run the business, all right? So if you've got to invest in coaching, if you've got to invest in a mentor, because let me tell you this, your donors and your funders are savvy. They're going to want to see a budget. They're going to want to know what the impact is. They're going to want to see the evidence of your work before they make a decision to write you a check. Just because you have a nonprofit organization does not mean people are running around like a check on fire to give it to somebody. No, you want to encourage, inspire, invite. You want to show and share that your organization is the best place for their resources. Now, who am I to talk about all this? Y'all, I've been doing this work for 35 years. 35 years. Helping organizations start, grow, and sustain themselves. And I'm telling you the things that most people won't. And I'm telling you in a way that's very direct. No nonsense. Some people can take it, some people can't. At this age, I really don't care. But what I want you to know is this. In order for your organization to start, it has to be started with a plan. You start with a plan to sustain it. You alone cannot sustain it. Putting your mother, your husband, your friend on the board, and they have no experience, they have no knowledge, they're not able to help you move the organization forward into the spaces, into the places where people who have the resources, could have the interest, and want to be involved and engaged can see you and trust you with their money. Right? So when you're putting together your strategy and your plan, making sure that you know what you need communications, you need revenue, you need accounting, you need program evaluation, right? These are the things that are going to connect you with, build trust with the people who give you money. You've got two audiences that you're speaking to as an organization, not just the people who are in your program because they don't give you any money. They're there for the services. They don't have the resources to turn around and support the organization. And then you've got the community. They're not in your program. They are never going to be in your program. However, they have the resources. They have the connection. They have the interest to see your mission fulfilled. So you've got to plan and strategize, not just on the programmatic side, not just on what you need side, but you've also got to think about who are the people in the community and what do they need to see, to understand, to be aware of before they commit to supporting your organization. All right, y'all, it is very systematic. It is not by chance. It is not luck. It is all strategy. It's strategy, right? And when you are starting a business, and that is what your nonprofit is, it's a business. Now, as long as you run it like it's yours, and as long as you run it like it's a hobby, and as long as you run it like it's about passion, and it's not, it's about business and mission. Your business is your mission, not your passion. Your business is your mission. And your mission is a declaration of the impact that your organization is going to make in the community. Your business is your mission, not your passion. And your donors and your funders, frankly, don't care about your passion. They care about how their resources are going to help achieve the mission that's important to them. All right? Y'all, this is not rocket science, but it is science. It is science. And I focus on the day-to-day, not the overview. The process. The process. What is the process? What is the day-to-day process of getting donors? Keeping the donors that you have, retaining them is the word, cultivating and identifying new prospective donors, right? How do you get the funding from grants? You've got to have a multiple stream of revenue. Any business has multiple streams of revenue. Every business has multiple streams of revenue, all right? So you cannot live alone on individuals. You can't on individual support. You can't live alone on grant support, right? You need the diverse funding streams to cause your organization to be able to sustain itself. So that means you need to have people in position to help you get those funding streams. Now, just starting and not knowing how you're going to fund it, or funding it out of your own pocket until you run out of money, then you want somebody else's money. Nothing wrong with that. That happens every day. But at the end of the day, you've got to be able to show, to share, to convince and invite and encourage that those people who are not in your program should be motivated and inspired to support your organization that they're not going to get any direct benefit from, right? How do you do that? You share with them the accomplishment of your mission, that your goals are being met, the impact of your work, so that they know that they are investing into a worthwhile cause, not just your passion. Y'all, if you don't have a team, start small, right? Build and grow. Start with the areas that are going to bring you money, okay? Now, the people who say to me, Jen, what's my guarantee? What's my guarantee? Listen, you weren't thinking about no guarantee when you started this business and you didn't know what the ding dang devil you were doing. There was no guarantee then. You wasn't worried about no guarantee when you was running around with your shana na obobo TTT, God said. There was no guarantee. But what is guaranteed is that if you don't have the skill set, the knowledge, the people in place to help you generate revenue, the guarantee is that you're not going to have the money to do the work that you need to do on an ongoing basis. You have to have a team, period. All right? Period. And you can grow that team. You could grow from starting with someone who's working part-time, someone who's working 5 or 10 hours a week. At least have them focus on that which is going to bring you revenue. All right? Thank y'all so much for following. Thank y'all for liking and commenting. I am Jennifer Yarbrough. I am your nonprofit expert. Listen, it is my goal, it is my effort to tell you the truth, honey. And if I've got to speak it in a way that makes you step back and think, what is she saying? I want that to happen. All right. I am on your side. I've been in your shoes and I understand what it takes, not just to start your organization, but to grow it. All right. And grow it not just programmatically, but the finances that are needed also. People have a choice who they give their funds to, and you want them to choose your organization. How would they come about choosing your organization? They understand the vision, they believe in the mission, and they see the impact in the work that you all are doing and meeting the need. Articulate that on every way possible, right? Everyone within your organization, from the board all the way down, everyone should be articulating each and every day the value of the work, what's at stake if your work were not being conducted in your community, and the ways to support, right? And then making sure that you're communicating back to those people who contribute how their support has helped make a difference. Y'all, if there's anything that I can do or my team can do to help you and your organization, go forward. Just reach out. Go to my website, jdyarbrough.com. Get on my calendar, www.timewithjen.com. That's TIME, WITHJEN.com. And for those of you who are looking for a grant writer, we now have packages where you can make a payment plan for up to a year to get those services done for you, because we do realize that many of you who are just starting your organization are starting with limited resources, and we want to make sure that you have affordable ways to get a team that's going to help you move your organization forward. My company does more than grant writing. We do donor cultivation, we do executive coaching and leadership, we do board training so that your board understands what their roles and responsibilities and opportunities are in terms of helping raise money for your organization. We do donor cultivation, social media management as well. All kinds of ways that help is available. Affordable help is available. You just got to know that in order to grow your business, you need revenue. All right. So focusing on the areas that are going to bring you revenue is going to make your life a whole lot easier, and it's going to take your organization a whole lot further. Again, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for following. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And if there's anything that I or my team can help you to do, please do not hesitate to reach out. I'll see you guys next time. All right. Bye.